Hey Harmonizers, welcome to the Florida Horse Park. Elysia is going to get started with her Extreme Cowboy race. We went to the Florida Horse Park and they only have one Extreme Cowboy race that they host a year, and it's in February when we happen to be there. So here we are at the Florida Horse Park doing the Extreme Cowboy race, and the main reason for me doing this was to help prep my horses for the versatility trail class at the Horse World Expo that we're going to be heading to later this week. That's in Pennsylvania. So this was an opportunity to get out, do a competition, do some obstacles, but I wasn't riding to win this competition in the sense that I wasn't gonna go really fast. Extreme Cowboy racing, you get extra points for how fast you go. So I'm cantering around the course, but we're not full on galloping or anything like that. Mostly wanting to make sure my horses are building up their confidence for the obstacles, making sure that they're gonna stay calm, relaxed, and focused for the bigger competition that we're doing later this week. Whenever I'm heading into a competition, I always want to kind of know what my priority is and know what I'm trying to communicate to my horse. And I knew that if I started really pushing Lissy to go fast, she might start to get excited, and I didn't want her thinking later this week that she had to kind of hustle and potentially risk her getting fidgety or anything like that. So we're still going through the obstacles and cantering and things like that, but not going crazy fast. This is super cool, having water as part of the obstacles, doing the little barrel pattern in there and going over the log, something that I definitely have not seen at an Ontario competition for sure. Here into a little side pass, and then the judge specifically wanted to see a little canter in here, so we get our little canter happening as we come over to the rope gate. So we see some very typical obstacles like what we have back home, and then some things that we haven't seen. And this would be my first time doing an Extreme Cowboy race where we're not in a designated ring. So this is literally just part of a cross-country course where the obstacle course has been set amongst that, which is really kind of a neat way to do that. Here's a little back through, turning our horse around to get the barrels here, backing through there. And Lissy's doing a great job of listening to what I'm asking her to do and trying all of the different obstacles. And then this part we come around and there's a maypole with a rope that you have to grab, and then they wanted to see a full loop, so I give a nice canter loop here. Lissy does a really nice canter circle, and then for whatever reason I kind of see the last obstacle and I'm like, oh okay, here's the last obstacle, and go, and I accidentally missed two obstacles that were before that. So even though she had a really nice round of obstacles, unfortunately didn't place well because I forgot two obstacles. But that was our first round. She did really well. I'm really happy with how she performed there. So then in the afternoon we do a second course, and this time it's set up on a different part of the cross-country field. So it's a different course, different setup, different kind of location, kind of neat. So I get my little canter happening there. Up onto the bridge, it's got a carpet beside it, so it kind of gives it a visual distraction, which is kind of neat. Into our left lead canter for our free ride going around, and again I'm not going full on galloping. I'm just kind of keeping her cool, calm, collected, because we're more thinking about the competition we have later this week. I just didn't think we'd practiced enough to be able to kind of go really fast in that moment and bring her back. So it would be something that we're kind of working on as we get more experience together. This is neat, a back up L shape, but instead of backing up between poles, we're backing up on the outside of the poles, and the goal is to be close to the poles, making the back up as we were told to kind of go through that way. It's kind of a different way of doing that. And then afterwards we were told to side pass the boards. So here doing a little side pass with Lissy. I chose to do it with her haunches on the inside of the turn, which means her shoulders have to take the extra steps there on the corner. Finish our little side pass, and then gonna come out at the canter, and there's a set of barrels. We're told to canter on the inside of our barrels, and I think I got confused with all the black barrels. I was like, where do I go? But I ended up coming out at the right spot. And then our lead changes here, she can do a much better job at her serpentine and her lead changes. So that obstacle wasn't our strongest one. I think just didn't have a 100% focus and connection there as we were going through that lead change obstacle. Coming around into a squeeze, which she does pretty nicely and easily. and then into some canter poles that are kind of set as bounces. So she definitely kind of just pops over those really nicely. Nice little turn. And then as we come across here, it's a funny colored carpet to go across, which she does completely no problem at all. Nice and easy. And then the last obstacle is doing a nice little back through. So Elysia did super awesome. Unfortunately, because I missed my first two obstacles in the first round, we didn't end up placing very well, but I'm really happy with how confident she was and how smooth it went.